Hey there, good looking. Welcome to this full body workout that is all levels, osteoporosis friendly, and golfers and tennis elbow friendly. That's right. I suffered with both for a year, and while I was rehabbing with my physiotherapist, I found some great work around so that I could keep lifting while I was working my way through both the injuries. The first thing I do want you to have for equipment if you are suffering with tendonitis is an elbow brace. That's going to help take some of the pressure off of the tendons that are inflamed. Now for this actual workout, you are going to need a pair of light, moderate, and heavy dumbbells, as well as a chair or bench, and a rubber band. Yeah, we're going to do some specific forearm work and finger work. So a rubber band that's wrapped around asparagus or a bundle of mail. All right, awesome. Let's go get warmed up. All right, before we get started, press start on your fitness watch if you like to track your workouts. For reference, I have an Apple Watch and I chose a HIIT setting. All right, let's just do some wrist circles, taking it nice and slow. Now, it's important to mention at the beginning of the workout here that everybody's tolerance to pain is different. So if any of the exercises that we're doing make the elbow flare up or it just doesn't feel right, I want you to stop, okay? As well, it's also very important to note if you aren't already seeking the services of a physiotherapist, now let's do figure eights, or a physiotherapist, please go see one, all right? Do not Google doctor yourself. I suffered for a year and I did a lot of things wrong, so I don't want you to be me. So learn from my mistakes, little grasshopper. Last 3, 2, 1, and now let's just make it circles or eights with the hands clasped. So I do have a good friend who's a physiotherapist, and she says regardless, it takes about a year for an elbow to fully rehab. And that pretty much was it for me. But I did do physiotherapy, acupuncture, IMS, prolotherapy. So I did a lot to help speed the process up, but because of the volume of lifting I do with the videos that I record, it was really hard for me to rehab. You'll have a lot better time. Here we go. I want you to open and close, give yourself a hug, alternate which arm's on top each time. Last 3, 2, 1. Hands light behind the ears, knees soft, hip hinge. Warming up into the glutes and hamstrings. So remember our hip hinge crew, it's through that top of the thigh bone and not through the waistband. Two more. Last one. Feet wider than shoulders, arms extend, shoulders back and down, squat it out. When we squat, knees track with second toe, bum pushes rearward. Arms are up to get that back nice and toasty and ready for the workout. So we've got a variety of moves where we're body weight or holding onto dumbbells because we want to not load the forearm up for an entire workout. We want to give it an opportunity to rest, and then hopefully you do have the brace, and that's going to help. Last 3, 2, 1. Feet hip width, bring the arms down, open. Working T-spine and shoulder here. Now with elbow injury, it's also placement of where your dumbbells are and how you pick them up is really going to help out your injury. So we're going to make sure that the dumbbells are up. That's why I want you to have a chair or bench, especially the heavier ones. 4 more. And then I show you a real good trick that I want you to think about anytime you pick anything up from now on, and release. All right, our first series is all on the mat, and we will need the moderate weight or heavier weight dumbbells for our presses and a row. When we pick up dumbbells, what we want to do with the affected arm is scoop. So you want to think about scooping. You don't want your palm down, pick up, and then drive up. That's going to place more load on the tendons there. So scoop. Okay, did we scoop? Cool. Let's take it down onto our backs. Light grip of the dumbbells. That's the other thing we want to pay attention to, not a death grip. Elbows slightly in front of the shoulders, feet apart, heels close to bum. bridge the hips up. Now press the dumbbells up and lower down. So I've got the dumbbells just kind of cradled in my hand, very little grip. It's gripping with palm down. That's really gonna, and this is more geared towards tennis elbow than, golfer's elbow, that you're really gonna flare that elbow up. So we want to think light grip, palm facing away whenever we do a movement pattern or when we pick something up. So if this is bothering the elbow, maybe bring the elbows in so the palms are facing each other, and we change that positioning of the arm, and that might make that tendon feel better. So play around, elbows just in front of the shoulder, time, or lower down. Now let's take the dumbbells, we're just gonna place them up the top of the mat and then get back down onto our backs. Arms extended, legs and tabletop, draw the belly button in, opposite arm and leg drops to the mat, and then back to center, breathing. Our goal here is to draw the belly button in, anchor the low back, and keep that neutral curve of the spine as we lower opposing limbs. It's called a dead bug. Really good way to train the deep core muscle. Another way that you can train it too is a plank. So just to show you some different ways that you can be off of the arms and still hit those important muscles. Breathe. For the workout, we have 45 seconds of work today, 2 rounds of our circuits. All right, come on to all fours for me, please. Hands are on top of those dumbbells. Wrists under shoulders, knees apart underneath the hips. Again, we got that light grip. We got that neutral spine. Gaze at the top of the mat. Left elbow comes up and down. Now you might want to put the dumbbells on a bit of an angle. So they're almost making a V. That might feel better for the elbow joint. So once again, I really just want you to play around with positioning of your hands on the upper body lifts, because that might help with taking that tension off, that load off of the inflamed tendon. Draw that belly button in, neutral spine. Working into our back muscles, biceps, back the shoulder here. One more each side. Dumbbells, the front of the mat, onto our back once again. Right heel close to the bum, left leg is up. If you want to add more load, you can pick the dumbbell up. And we've got a single leg bridge, okay? So I'm just going to go no load here, but you got that option. So when you're off doing your workouts, and as mentioned, your elbow's inflamed, you want to think about peppering dumbbell moves in and body weight moves in so that the forearm or the forearm extensors, forearm flexors get a break from grabbing onto the dumbbells. So single leg movements are great for that. You maybe don't need, I don't need a dumbbell to hit my glutes here. Time. Single leg squats, lunges, that idea. Now, push-ups never bothered my elbow. However, I do know that push-ups and any type of straight arm plank like that do bother other people's tennis elbows. So you got to play around with it. You may even want to change the positioning, as I said in your push-up, of your hands. So this is the last one of the circuit. We're going to take it back to the chest press. We'll roll up though, and we'll scoop the dumbbell up, especially with the affected arm, and then roll back down for setup. Now, if your hamstring cramps with this, I want you to go to a double leg bridge. All right, that just shows that your hamstring's trying to take up too much work. Your glute's not doing the work. All right, so I've got the affected arm, I'm gonna scoop. Other arm, pick up, bridge. Maybe the elbows in, chest press felt better for your forearm, okay? Or elbows out a bit. But hang in there. I know what a frustrating injury tendonitis of the elbows is. But I've been great for probably 8 months now, and I even picked up tennis, the sport tennis, because I got both tennis elbow and golfer's elbow, having never played either sport. But started tennis, and my elbow was fine. But I kept up with my forearm exercises, which we're going to do at the end of the workout, and my forearm stretches, which we'll do as well. All right, so dead bugs. Let's roll up, place these guys up there, get ready for the rows, go back down and get our dead bug set up. Knees over hips, belly button drawn in, one leg, opposite arm, heel to ground, thumb to ground. But patience and finding the right physiotherapist, is really going to help with your injury and listening to your body. Especially if you're like me, over 50. We can't just keep pushing through it. Then we're just taking longer and longer to rehab and get ourselves back. On to all fours. Knees under hips, wrists under shoulders. Draw the belly button in. We've got that long spine. Top of the head to the tailbone, left arm row up. Just a light grip. Few more reps, moving into that single leg bridge. One more here. All right. Dumbbell resting on the hip if that's where you're at. Right heel close to the bum, left leg up. Arms down by your side. 3, 2, 1. Drive the hips, pushing through the heel. As I said earlier, if you feel your hamstrings cramp, drop the other leg, do a double. All right, hamstring cramping doesn't mean that your hamstrings are inflexible. No, not at all. What it actually means is your hamstrings are trying to do all the work when your glutes should be doing the work. So what I need you to do is figure out how to fire up your glutes. Put your mind into the glute doing the movement, and that's going to take the load off the hamstring. So far, this workout's been pretty good, hasn't it? We've been lying down the whole time. Other leg, yeah, 5-star Yelp rating for PJ. Here we go. Left heel close to the bum, 3, 2, 1. Push through that heel, drive the hips, slowly lower down. We come into a standing position after this, new circuit, and we'll need that chair or bench for this series. All right. Chair, bench. Let's scoop the heavier dumbbells up, place them on the bench. Grab the moderate weight dumbbells. Rock them on the shoulder, light grip, push, press. So that means we use the legs to press the dumbbells up, reset, lower down. So when my elbow was its most flared up, it was just trying to get the damn dumbbell in place that would irritate it the most. So I found that if I had my dumbbells up, so maybe you have a rack, a dumbbell rack, that's even better. But if I had them up, I could position them with my non-affected hand so I could scoop. The scooping was a godsend for me. So hopefully you can really get into that habit of scooping things. I'm still doing it, and I think I'll keep doing it. Time. So lower down, I find in a hammer curl, this was my affected elbow, it doesn't bother my elbow. Now, we're going to do a palm away, because when we have a palm away, that doesn't put as much stress onto the elbow joint. Take your left hand, set up for tripod row, palm facing away, drive up, squeeze the shoulder blade. So a tripod row is just exactly like that. Is you're set up 3 points supporting you, hand on that chair bench, feet apart, neutral spine, hip hinge. Driving the elbow up, squeezing that shoulder blade, slowly coming back home. So we have that palm away, so that scoop motion for the entire workout or for the entire exercise here. They also call this a supinated grip. And again, it's a little bit more elbow friendly, especially for my friends. Time with tennis elbow. All right, so we're gonna do the other side. Yeah, okay. Here we go. Hip hinge for me. Tripod, support the back, both legs and front arm. Drive that right elbow up, slowly lower. Drive the belly button in towards the spine. There's no doubt your low back extensors are working in this position. So if you feel some fatigue there, great. We just don't want any pain or discomfort, right? So reset that core if it's starting to get a little painful. We're going to need the light dumbbells on the ground and our heels up for the next move. All right. So doesn't matter what the size of your dumbbells are. We want to place the heels so they're right under the hips. We're taking this into a partial squat to really hit the quads now. I'm in the partial squat so that we don't need to hold on to anything to load up the squats. So what I'm going to work through is 75% of my range of motion in a squat. Down, up. I want you to try to see if you can drive the hips past parallel. Come up. Good. Now we're going to keep this tempo. You should feel the quads pretty quickly. So as I said, we need to pepper in ways to get your muscles stronger without the use of dumbbells. And I find tempo, partial reps, change is a really fun way to do that. We'll move into your core in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drive up. Woo! All right. Have a seat. I want you to grab your moderate weight dumbbell. Nice and tall in your spine. Lean back about 30 degrees without losing that neutral spine. Now, twist. Think about driving the elbow back. So you don't want to move through the shoulders. It's driving the elbow back to encourage a twist. Now, my osteo people, that's not going to be for you. You're just going to hold. We're not going to do the twist because we shouldn't be twisting. So I just want you to hold. The rest of us, we're going to twist and think about moving through the obliques, your waist, by driving your elbow back. Unfortunately, a lot of people move through the shoulders on this, and your obliques are nowhere near your shoulders. So, moving back to that push press in 3, 2, 1, come to stand. Woo! All right, so scoop the dumbbell, right? Scoop. Rock them up. We're using the legs to get the dumbbells up. Reset down. Now you'll see I don't even have my hands wrapped around the dumbbell. Nice light grip. I've got my thumb wrapped, right? So the dumbbell doesn't land on my head. We don't want to be silly about it. But there are ways that we can do, little tricks that we can do to keep that load off of the tendons. And that's one of them. Light grip. Scoop the dumbbells. Wear your brace. See a physio. I know I'm nagging, aren't I? It's okay. Somebody's got to nag you. Palms away a row. One more here. Woo! Lower down with a hammer curl. Again, I found that didn't aggravate my forearm as much. All right, so we just need one heavy scoop, position, tripod, row. So some things you got to be aware of when you do have tennis elbow of your daily activities that are probably going to aggravate the heck out of it. Weeding, like gardening. Nah, I wouldn't do that. There's a good excuse not to garden, right? I know, I don't like it either. Vacuuming, that might not feel the best. So wear your brace. And see if you can get someone else to do it. All right, other side. What's the other thing? Oh gosh, grabbing the dishes out of the dishwasher, right? Anything that's gonna require you to really load up those extensors. We want to avoid or think about workarounds, which would be scooping if you can. Definitely wearing that elbow brace. And then as I said, we're gonna finish off with a series that I recommend you do on a regular basis through your week. Last one. Come to stand. All right, let's pop the heels up. Narrow stance, so it's a little bit more quad dominant. So heels under hips. 75%. Taking it hips past parallel. The heels elevated will allow you to do that without losing anything in the pelvis. Pull the shoulders back and down. Think about the whole body positioning. Let's not create another injury while we're working through one. So, woo! That's a good one, isn't it? All right, Russian twist. Grab that moderate weight. How do we pick it up? We scoop. That's right. Sit nice and tall. My osteo people, lean back, hold it there. Everybody else, drive the elbow. Drive the elbow. We want to move through the waist. Light grip the dumbbell. It's just kind of resting on the bottom part of my palm here. No grip. No stress to the tendons. Just a good old ab burn. We'll grab water after this, and move into the smaller muscles, triceps, biceps, and then the forearm love that I talked about earlier. All right. Whew. Okay, grab a sip of water. We are going to get into those smaller muscles in about 30 seconds. All right, grab some water. As I said, we will need one heavy for skull crushers. So we're on the mat for that. Then we'll stand, pair of moderates for bicep curls, and then light and your rubber band seated. So let's start down. 30 seconds are on the clock. These are smaller muscles, so they don't need as long to fatigue. Scoop your dumbbell or pick it up with the non-affected side. Dumbbell up, let it rest in the bottom of the palm. Bring that post towards the forehead, straighten the arm again. One thing I did find when I had my elbow injury at its worst is the TRX didn't bother it. I could really position my hands so that there was no stress to the tendons and yeah, get a good workout in. So if you own a TRX, you might want to incorporate that into your workouts. Come to stand, bicep curl, so choose whatever weight you need. And then, yes, we can work our biceps even with crappy elbows. We're gonna have palms facing away. You never wanna do palms down, okay? Zottman curls, those are a hard no when your elbows flared out. But palms facing, we can go up and down. Light grip, remember? All right, have a seat. We want light dumbbells now. Palms are up. We're gonna work our forearm flexors. So this is important for those of you with golfer's elbow. Let those hands drape over the knees, curl up and down. Now when we curl up, I want you to try to lead with even knuckles. We're leaning forward and letting our body weight rest on our thighs. I want you to keep the elbow and forearm onto your thighs. Another option would be using a table too. If there's any pain with this on the side that's painful, I want you to assist it up and then let it go down on its own, okay? All right, so now into the extensors for my tennis elbow people. We lead with the pinky now, curl up. It's gonna be this natural kind of turn and twist leading with the pointer finger. I want you to try and lead with the pinky to keep the knuckles as even as possible. Same thing, if the affected side starts to say, no way, I don't like this, I want you to help it on its way up with the non-affected hand and then slowly curl down. We call that eccentric training, okay? And that's how you'll work through this. And it works beautifully, it works like a charm. Really, this move I still do on a regular basis, because I don't want it back. All right, left hand, we'll do the right arm on the second set. I want you to take the elastic band and loop it just around the first joint of the fingers, okay? You're gonna wanna hold on to it here, and then I want you to extend the fingers as much as you can and close. Extend, open the hand and close. So come in close. So the resistance is as I extend, close in, extend, and I'm holding on to that band or otherwise it'll just roll right down. You can buy climbing webs as well as finger extensors on Amazon. I have one, but for the sake of this video, rubber band works fine. All right, back to the top, skull crusher, others. Second set, scoop your dumbbell. Take it down, light grip, arms straight, post to forehead, straighten. Hopefully feeling that behind the upper arm, your triceps. We'll come into stand right now and work the opposing muscle group now, your biceps. So scoop with the affected side, palms facing, Wrist curl in slightly, elbows under shoulders, curl up, slowly come back home. Light grip of the dumbbells. As you progress with your injury too, you might want to lift a little lighter than you normally do. Remember, when we're injured, now's not the time to think about increasing your strength, your fitness. It's just about maintaining, and more importantly, maintaining your sanity. And then doing your physio recommended exercises. All right, forearm, palm up. So now's not the time to try to build. Elbows rest, palms hang over the edge of our knees. Lead with the pinky, curl up as much as we can, keeping the forearms on our thighs. So these last 3 moves are the ones that I do recommend you do a few times a week. 2 to 3 sets of 12 to 15 reps. All right, palm down. Remember, if it bothers the affected side, all you got to do is help it on that hard part when we're lifting, and then let it do the lowering part. All right, 3, 2, 1, lead with the pinky. So we're not going to work through any pain. That's how you train stupid. So we're not going to do that. What we're going to do is work within the parameters that our elbows, our bodies in general give us each day. Each day is going to be a little different. So you're just going to become really good at listening to your body. All right. So let's do the right arm now with that elastic band. I'm just coming to stand to show you again. So it's just above that knuckle joint there. I'm going to hold the band on this and spread as much as I can. Now this is one that you can kind of add into regular daily activities. So for example, I had an elastic band in my car, and every time I was at a stoplight, I would do some of these. So I find that these kind of rehabby exercises, they're not a lot of fun to do. They're not sexy. So if we can fit them in time on something that you're doing otherwise, I think you're more apt to stick with it. All right, good job, you. Let's give a stretch. If you want to have a seat, go for it. Take your arm, extend it, fingertips down. All right, now we're going to stretch your extensors here. Pull the fingertips towards you and then rotate the hand away from you in midline. You want to feel the stretch right up through there. So, sorry, we're about to do the stretches. If you had the forearm band on, I want you to take that off now, okay? All right, shake it out. Other side, start with fingertips pointed down, draw the hand towards you, and then rotate the fingertips away. This should feel good. And this is also a great stretch for those of you that keyboard a lot. Another thing that really helped me was massage, both self-massage. I would get in there with a roller and a ball. You don't want to do it with your own hand because you could actually create tennis elbow with the unaffected arm by doing too much massage. And then when I went to massage too, I'd get her to go to town on my extensors, and oh gosh, it was like painful bliss. You know what I mean? Yeah. All right, let's use our chair to stretch into the forearms, the back of the forearms. Fingertips are spread. Hands pressing down, and then I want you to just kind of lean back and feel that stretch in the forearm flexors there. So this is a good one for my golfer's elbow people. And then you can add some movement, side to side. And peel them back. Let's get into the hamstrings. Leg up, hip hinge, chest over thigh. Other side. Have a seat. Right ankle crosses over, nice and tall on the body, hinge forward. Feel that stretch deep in the glute there. Release, other side. Start tall in the body, front of the shin. I'm going to pull forward till I feel that stretch deep in the glute. Interlace the hands, place them behind the head. Let the chest lift, let the elbows drop back. Stretch the front of the body. And release. Hey, thank you so much for joining me. And if you joined me solely because you saw the title, Tennis and Golfer's Elbow Friendly Workout, I really hope that the injury doesn't take long for you to get back to your fighting form again. Drop a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you, and have a fabulous rest of your day. Bye.